Hello, BookTube. I've got a paperback book haul, but I'm going to start it. Let me get this out of my mouth. I'm going to start it with some ephemera. These are something I had great joy in finding. They're not in great shape. They're not very collectible, and well, some of them might be fine. But I just got them on a whim. And this is TV Guide, for those of you who remember what that is. This is The Wharf Factor. Can Star Trek The Next Generation's Michael Dorn re-energize Deep Space Nine? Look at that. I've got so many paperbacks that I'm actually cleaned off the side table here for once. Then TV Guide again. Collector's Edition Star Trek The Next Generation. The TV voyage ends. Trek Stars Tell All. So those of you remember what it... Well, here, look. You could even get a little ad for... Who is it? Columbia House. But you go in here and look up the day and the time and what shows are on what networks. Then here, I love this one. This is sort of a twofer in a way because it also has a tribute to Gilda Radner. But this is exclusive book bonus, William Shatner's Star Trek Memories, Untold Stories from Behind the Scenes. That one's actually in fairly decent shape. Again, one of these, this is Rock Videos ad. Sears Labor Day sale. Oh, here's a book club. True Crime. And then we've got exclusive Star Trek Voyager TV guide. Captain Kate. And this last one's in terrible shape. It's too bad. It's ripped and all that, but well, fantastic Voyager. So yeah, some Star Trek TV guide things. They had a few other, but those are the ones I took. None of this stuff cost anything. Get a wet my whistle. Cheers. So let's get into the paperback. We're going to start right off with a couple that will interest my friend Sean D. Standfast, the booktuber. I picked up one of these last week, and I talked to Sean about it, and I managed to get two more from the same guy, and this is Babylon 5, Dark Genesis, The Birth of Psi-Corps. These are by J. Gregory Keynes, and the one I have up there is also, and then this one here with a great cover is Bester Ascendant, Babylon 5. So that gives me three. I think Sean was telling me there was 4 or 5 of them in the... Maybe it says on here. Let's see. Maybe it's just the 3. So I may be all right. So there is a list. Here, let's just work our way down to some of this stuff. Do it like this. Always loved Douglas Reman. There should be some of his somewhere behind me there. This is White Guns, World War II action adventure. This is Pan paperback. They're going to tell me who the cover. Yeah, Brian Sweet did the cover. Excellent cover. Sort of a. Always glad to have Reman books. Then this is a thriller writer I liked, and I read quite a bit back in the day. If I remember right, he's passed away quite a long time ago. This is Desmond Bagley, and this is Wyatt's Hurricane. Again, a wonderful cover. There's nothing abnormal about Hurricane Mabel except her ferocity. She should pass harmlessly amongst the islands of the Caribbean, but David Wyatt has developed a sixth sense about hurricanes. Some sort of drama. He's a thriller writer. You can tell by this other one, because I got it in 2 different covers, and it's so you take a look at this one, and then you're talking about the hurricane, but take a look at this one. So I thought it's sort of a cool 1-2 paperback punch. I don't need both of these. And then here, this has a sticker I'll take off, Bahama Crisis. Sharply successful entrepreneur turned the super rich to his luxury hotels in the sun-soaked Bahamas. Then violent tragedy struck. His own family disappeared. A series of misfortunes, accident, and mysterious epidemics began to drive the tourists away. So that's bad for a guy who owns a hotel, I guess, or motel. Well, it'd be a hotel then, right? Then sort of cool. This one I'll really have to work to get the sticker off. This is Star Trek: The Eugenics Wars, Volume 1, The Rise and Fall of Khan Noonien Singh, with the old Ricardo Montalban being the inspiration for the artist here. I can't tell which bookstore this tag was from. Those of you who are expert in these chain stores might be able to tell just by looking. So this is only Volume 1 of these, so I love Star Trek, obviously, and I'm looking forward to this. Then these next two, again, with some stickers on them, but I'll work on those. And they're not in perfect shape, but they're good enough. And this is Lord Fowl's Bane, Stephen R. Donaldson's Chronicles of Thomas Covenant, the Unbeliever. Main character is a victim of leprosy, and then sort of mentally drifts into an alternate world where he becomes a hero. Then this is the second volume, The Ill-Earth War, with a totally different style of cover. When I read them, they all had these covers, and now there's been, many additions to the originals. Quite good, and was quite different at the time. Then here, I'm sorry I have to keep leaning, but this is the only way I'm going to be able to do this. I have lots of Anne McCaffrey. I think I have some right. Yeah. I'm on the wrong side here. That ain't going to do you any good. So, I'm used to having the camera some different direction. This is Anne McCaffrey, The Skies of Pern. So, a nice part of the Pern world. I have not read this one, I don't believe. But I've read so many doggone Pern books, I could be wrong. Then an author who I always love. Farley Mowat, The Dog Who Wouldn't Be. I got a sweet tooth for this Canadian author. His writing, well, he's passed away, is just fantastic. Nonfiction and the stories he does about the sea, the natural world, I've always enjoyed him. Then a series, I hope this is a Doc Ford. Yeah, it is a Doc Ford. Randy Wayne White, Everglades. I have read this so long ago. When did it come out? Because I read it when it came out. 2003. Hard to believe that's been over 20 years. Hence the white and the beard, right? Okay. Then a box set. Glad to have this and be able to get rid of some of my old beat-up copies. And these are C.S. Lewis. Let's see, we have Mere Christianity, Miracles, The Problem of Pain, Screw Tape Letters, which I like, The Great Divorce, and The Abolition of Man. So, nice box set. Always happy to have that sort of thing. And I told you, there's a lot of these. I'm going as fast as I can, but Louis McMaster Bujold, Diplomatic Immunity. It's Miles Vergaz again. I think it is. Another one of Miles. Yeah, Miles is the main character in this one. So these are space opera of the First Order. First Order entertainment-wise, well written. Got piles of these. I've read them all out of order, but that was fine with these, which is a good sign. Then another thriller writer that I've always liked, Hammond Innes, and this is his Air Bridge. The police wanted Neil Fraser, but Bill Seaton wanted him more. The police had 3 reasons. 3 planes he'd flown out of the country illegally. Seaton's reasons were different and anything but good. Fraser didn't like what he was getting into, but he didn't have much choice. He also didn't have much chance of getting out alive. Sounds dramatic. Then this one I read years ago. I read that one before too. And this is Jack Higgins' Toll for the Brave. Higgins had a long long run as a thriller writer, and was always very good, I thought. Then here's an old sort of a science fantasy, science fiction sometimes. That's sort of a mix. And this author is Andre Norton. She was excellent, one of the first science fiction writers I ever read when I was younger, back in the 60s. The off-worlder wanted Storm, the Beastmaster, to guide him to the forbidden blue sector of Azor. See how that science fiction but fantasy type mix? She was good at that. She wrote a lot of westerns too. This I just grabbed because I wanted to check my copy. This is, what is it? The Jungle Tales of Tarzan. So it's number 6. It's got one of these little stickers on it from Pro Libris, which is the name of a paperback, or, well, just a all-around used bookstore up in Bangor, Maine. I think last year saw pictures of Michael Chabon posting pictures from that bookstore. So, yeah, this is not in very good shape, but wanted to make sure I've got those over there that way. See if I have that copy. I mean, they don't cost anything, so I'll just pick it up on the off chance. Then one that my kid, soon to be a major motion picture, Jurassic Park. Don't need to say much about that. Michael Crichton sold a bundle of those. This one I was thrilled. Thrilled to find, because I haven't read this one, and it's a first-time publication in any form. Conan and the Gods of the Mountain by Roland Green. I know a lot of people have been reading Conan lately. This is not one I'm familiar with. When did it come out? 1993. And this appears to be the first edition of that. Paperback, anyway. This one is something I did read a long time ago. This is Whale Song by Robert Siegel, and I don't remember a doggone thing about it. So James Dickey, the author of Deliverance, says a masterpiece, and it may very well be. It's got a bookmark in it. That's always handy. Read this ages ago. I don't know why I picked it up. I have no idea why, but maybe it's a sign I should reread it. John Grisham, A Time to Kill. Jeez, I read this thing when it came out too, so I haven't read a John Grisham in ages. It was his fifth book, 1989. Yeah, I read this a long time ago. Early Grisham I liked. I never read the later stuff. I'm telling you, I'm not even close yet to being done with this stack. So if you've held on this long, God bless you. Alistair MacLean, Puppet on a Chain. It's a nice old paperback, a thriller writer. I grabbed this just because it looks sort of cool. Tom Clancy's #1 New York Times bestselling series, Power Plays, created by Tom Clancy and Martin Greenberg, written by Jerome Preisler. 0 Hour. So another thriller. I'm going to go faster on these. David Hagberg, by Dawn's Early Light. Sort of a sea, modern Navy thriller, yeah. Pakistan plans a nuclear attack on India. Not nice. Okay. This one looked really cool. This is an archaeological mystery, The Shibalba Murders, by Lynn Hamilton. No idea. Not even sure I'm saying it's pronouncing it right. Obviously, Mesoamerican, but it is a novel, and as modern-day rebels fighting to save their Mayan heritage. Well, good for them, I guess. Here's a really neat science fiction anthology that I don't own, by Groff Conklin, who I have many of his anthologies. He's an early anthologist in the early days of science fiction. So this is Giants Unleashed. It's a tempo book. It was 50 cents when it was printed, and it is an infinite power of intelligence in the universe explored in 12 unforgettable science fiction stories. And it has Isaac Asimov, Arthur C. Clarke, Murray Leinster, William Tenn, Lawrence Manning, Theodore Sturgeon, Richard Ashby, J.T. McIntosh, Edward Grendon, Robert Heinlein, Poul Anderson, and Eric Frank Russell. Let's get the sort of blue coloring on the end of the papers. Grosset and Dunlap. First printing April 1966. Printed in the United States of America. But the copyright's 1965. Who do we have for... So Sturgeon is Microcosmic God. Arthur C. Clarke is Deep Range, about the ocean. Asimov is Misbegotten Missionary. Heinlein is Misfit. Eric Frank Russell, Basic Right. I don't know. It's all about intelligence. Another science fiction. It's a well-known book. It's book one of the Galactic Center series. It's Gregory Benford's In the Ocean of Night. I got another one of these stupid stickers. Oh, you know how I'm spending my day. I was really glad to get this. Robert Silverberg, who I really like, who's written a ton, is still alive and may be immortal. This is The Alien Years, his epic masterpiece. I've never read this. So, it was the worst of times. 15 feet tall, the entities land in cities across the earth, ignoring humankind. Well, that'll always make people mad. Nobody likes to be ignored. I'll speed it up here, though. Ian M. Banks, Look to Windward. I read Consider Phoebus. And that's, I wonder if they have a list of the culture novels. This is a culture novel, I'm sure. They do. So this is later in the series, so I haven't read anything after Consider Phoebus, but I'm glad to have it. Another Andre Norton, and this is The Beastmaster, which takes place prior to the other one of hers we looked at. So, nice cover. Okay cover, a little dark. Famous paperback. This is Neville Shutes on the Beach. It's the end of the world. Another old vintage paperback. That one was. And this is a great, fun book. This is Thunderbirds by Martin Caden. Caden, as an author, was the inventor of the $6 Million Man, Cyborg or something he called it, which became a TV series with Lee Majors as a Bionic Man. But he was also a great nonfiction writer who wrote tons about aviation, and every one I've read is good, and I'm not an aviation guy. This I'm excited to find. PT Commander by Eric Higgs. A little bit of nautical fiction. So it looks like it's World War II, and with PTs that would make perfect sense. Then here, I got a bunch of paper bookmarks, which I always like. This is Alan Dean Foster, The Dig. Mile-wide asteroid suddenly appears in orbit around the Earth. Frantic scientists call on veteran shuttle pilot Boston Lowe. His mission to nudge the menacing new moon into a stable orbit before it causes untold destruction. Could be exciting. Alan Dean Foster is a guy that seems to always deliver when I read him. Then Donald Hamilton, The Damagers. These are Matt Helm. Action, adventure, bit of mystery. He did a ton of these. Just going to grab a pile here and just keep on trucking. This is what's called a cracker western. Ghost of the Green Swamp. Lee Gramling. These things are printed by Pineapple Press down in Florida. Cracker is a native Floridian, I guess is one way of saying it. They did a whole bunch of these, and when I saw this, I had to grab it. But I've seen them down there. This next group goes together, and I have the other one that I picked up earlier, and I didn't know anything about these. I knew James Herriot's All Creatures Great and Small and all this. This is Vet in Harness, which I guess is number 4. These funny covers in Vets Might Fly, which is number 5. You can see the number right up there. Let Sleeping Vets Lie. They don't tell us number. And If Only They Could Talk. So I guess it's probably All Creatures Great and Small or some connection. I don't know what it is, but I liked how they look, so I grabbed them. And I'll reread them if I'm rereading or if it's something I haven't done. A little bit of Robert Heinlein, The Door into Summer. I read these ages ago when I was a teenager. These were all the rage. And then an old vintage Robert A. Heinlein, Citizen of the Galaxy. Take a look at that. Yeah. And we're almost done here, he says as he reaches for another pile. This is not in good shape, but I grabbed it because I got the sequel and I want to give this a read. This is Ring of Bright Water by Gavin Maxwell. Famous story about a man and an otter. Otters. This is just to see if I have my copies still. So Louis L'Amour, North to the Rails. Louis L'Amour, A Long Ride Home. There's Mr. L'Amour. And then this series, I'm missing number 5, I think, out of the 6. I loved this series when it came out, and I've purchased it over the years a couple times, and now I don't have it anymore. And then they did 2 big omnibus volumes that collected all of them. This is the Gandalara Cycle, Randall Garrett and Vicky Ann Hadron. Return to Adarta. So this guy wakes up in another guy's body on an alien world. The Well of Darkness. These things are fun. They're very thin. The Bronze of Adarta. So there's giant cats in these. Sentient cats. Like, I guess all cats are sentient, but they can communicate mentally with each other. The Glass of Discornus. And this last one's in bad shape, so I'll replace this and get the one that I'm missing. This is The Steel of Wrathscar. So that is one massive haul of paperbacks. I hope you all enjoyed this. I had fun with it. Now I got to find a place to put them, right? This is always the problem for all of us. So they'll stay out in my little book room. I don't know if you can tell here. You probably can't. Here, I'll move up and show you. Got a new recliner. Getting fancy out here. I need it. It's hard to show. I'll get a picture and show it in the next video. But it is a recliner. It's very comfortable. This room gets cold. I do have a new heater too. So hopefully this winter I'll be able to use the little room. Because I come out and smoke my pipe, have a beer. I got a little teeny TV, a little stereo, and my books. So the only problem is, of course, it doesn't have heat. So we have a little electric unit, which they can be dangerous. I unplug it every night before I leave the room. But yeah. So anyway, big pile of paperbacks. Hope everyone enjoyed your weekend, and I will see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.